Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I want to talk a little bit about WWE SummerSlam, that the pay per view that they did last night from the Amway Center in Florida. Um, it's part of the Thunderdome marketing that they're doing. This LED virtual with virtual fans instead of real ones, because obviously we're still, even after all these months, we're still in a pandemic, and you can't really do live fans. So you had to do virtual. They started this on SmackDown last Friday, but this was the first pay per view that they did it at, and it was decent. You know, it's a different kind of experience, something that um, AEW's not really doing. No other wrestling promotion is really doing. Even other MMA promotions like the UFC and Bellator are not really doing it either. It's something different, to give fans that live event experience without actually having people there. I mean, AEW now, I think, yes, as a matter of fact, AEW is doing it the old-fashioned way, letting people in. I think they did that for their last Dynamite taping this past Saturday, the one where Brody Lee won the TNT Championship from Cody Rhodes. But I think it's kind of cool, something different that Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn have cooked up, so their fans could still watch the matches without actually being there. But anyway, the pre-show started out with Apollo Crews versus MVP, and was a pretty good match. Um, like I said, I like the storyline that they're doing with the Hurt Business right now. That has a lot to do with Raw Underground. It's pretty cool. I mean, and the Hurt Business is a good faction. Takes its name, of course, from Mike Tyson and how he described the boxing business as the quote unquote Hurt Business. So the fact that Raw Underground has this sort of prize fighting, no holds barred MMA theme, and the Hurt Business kind of has this boxing like mafia scene, and we know that in sports like MMA and boxing, you have a lot of mafia influences. Saw this in Pride, saw this, and even in wrestling, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, a lot of mafia ties. So this is kind of like a mafia type storyline that MVP and them are doing, but which I think is kind of cool. But Apollo Crews retained the title. I think they want to have Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin win it, because I think either Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin's going to be fighting in the Raw Underground tournaments. I don't know. I still don't really know a lot about Raw Underground. I think it's like a tournament thing, like the early UFCs were kind of like a tournament. I mean, of course, it's fake. you know, it's not actually a real tournament, but it'd be cool if it was, but it's not. So, but if it was, I think Bobby Lashley would win the thing, because he's a great amateur wrestler. He has some MMA experience, but they want to keep the wrestlers safe, especially wrestlers that they want to put in the top spot, like Dolph Ziggler and uh, Eric from the Viking Raiders. They don't want to get them hurt, so they make it a work. I think that they can make it more legitimate because, like, I like MMA and I was watching it, and like when Dolph Ziggler went for the takedown of Eric from the Viking Raiders, it was like, excuse me, it was like if it were real, you would you'd be punching him right now. You wouldn't let him take you down. So you have to operate again, just like with the regular wrestling matches. You have to operate under the illusion that it is a contest. So just standing there, you're making it obvious that you're working together. It's not real. So, and then the conundrum is if Raw Underground is presented as real and the other matches on Raw are presented as quote unquote fake, then what's the point of Raw Underground? I don't know, that's just the way I look at it. But anyway, they're furthering this Hurt Business storyline by having the Hurt Business chase Apollo Crews, and Apollo Crews retains the United States Championship. SmackDown Women's Championship. A lot of back and forth action. A lot of uh, hard kicks by Asuka. Asuka always entertains me. She's sort of like Shinsuke Nakamura, where she brings that New Japan strong style, hard hitting style to it, and Bailey gets the win, gets the pin, and the Golden Role Models attack Asuka with a double power bomb, like the Shield used to do, and that's setting up for later in the night. But just by that, I'm gonna tell you guys right now that I knew that Sasha Banks was gonna lose because the whole point of this whole thing is to build to a Sasha and Bailey eventually, and make Sasha into a babyface again and Bailey into a heel. I hear reports online that Vince McMahon is really high on Bailey as a heel. That's why she's featured a lot on SmackDown, on NXT, on all these other programs, you know, from WWE because Vince really likes her. But anyway, later on in the night, Sasha drops the Raw Women's Championship to Asuka. But the thing I'm really here to talk about is not the women's match, but the men's match, the Universal Championship, the Fiend versus Braun Strowman. Yeah,
He says, "Oh, I got two toolboxes.